want to quickly show you around the board that I use to discuss with people which teams we have. So how do we split our teams to create the value that we want for our customers. So you can see here the board, and it starts up here along the kind of timeline up here. So you enter the store here. I first like to clarify what is the goal of this workshop, and that is that we agree on a team split that is an optimal trade-off. It's a trade-off. There is no one optimal solution. But what is the optimal trade-off given our current market position, product maturity, and the goals we have as a company? Then, like every workshop, I like to start with a quick check-in so everyone gets into the habit of, oh, I'm here to speak, I'm here to contribute, and I let people complete the sentence. If we found the optimal team split, our work would feel like what? Then we get to the meat of the workshop. And that is to assess options. The first thing I like to do is to agree on assessment criteria and typical scenarios. So how do we even rate the options that we have? So if you look down here, the assessment criteria are these yellow post-its. I pre-filled a few of them that seem to be a usually generic criteria that you can use to assess different options, but I left one dot for you to fill out, and you can obviously add more. And then down here are three placeholder post-its for typical scenarios for the teams that you anticipate. So those will be very specific to your product and your market. Then once that is done, I present three options. I make the status quo one of the options. It is, I like to clarify that leaving it as is a valid option. And then I like to present two alternatives. Those alternatives should be prepared ahead of time of the workshop, which doesn't mean that those were the final versions, but it's better to go into the workshop with a proposal to discuss. Then once we have that, I let everyone, we'll go through the assessment criteria and let everyone individually vote on how they think this this option rates on these criteria. And then once we have that, I'll let people quickly explain. You can kind of think of like in planning poker, where you let people rate how long something will take to implement or how complex it will be. And a good practice there is to let the extremes explain to each other why they voted the way they have. So usually I let the double plus and the double minus explain to each other how they see things. I don't want people to get into discussions at this point. If there are things that we want to discuss later, I'll collect them on these blue post-its here on the right. Then we go through all of these, and once we've done that, we'll also discuss the three typical scenarios, and there I usually do a quick group discussion and try to agree on a rating together right away. Again, taking notes as we go along. And once we've done that for option 1, we'll go to the option 2 and option 3, or alternative 1 and alternative 2. And then once that is done, we get to these parts of topics that we want to still discuss. Important here, give it a time box so you don't get into endless discussions. I usually do 10-minute blocks and then rate, do you want to discuss further? Do you want to move on to the next topic? And at the end, I let people write their name on one of these green post-its and just place it next to the alternative that they find is the best option. And then once everyone has voted, we'll end it up or wrap it up with a checkout, and I usually like to let people complete the sentence. What makes me hopeful that we will find a great solution is, what is that? And then it's very likely that you didn't get to a perfect alternative that everyone agrees on in this workshop. So it's helpful to clarify up front how this decision is made. I like to give the decision to a decision owner for that part of the organization, and make it clear this workshop is for gathering input. If we can reach a shared solution or a shared decision in this workshop, great, but we don't have the burden of that having to happen. So it's also okay that we discussed a lot of options that we still disagree with in the workshop, and the decision owner takes all that information to make the decision afterwards, or to prepare another round of workshop to discuss further, maybe with more fine-tuned alternatives. I hope that helps in understanding the template and for you to use it for your own workshops.